Attention, you who seek God, who want to find God, you who perhaps are distant from God and want to go back to Him, or even you are an atheist who says, I don't believe that God exists, but if He does, I would like to know, I would like to have the certainty to know Him. Pay attention, you who truly want to know Him. What does God seek in someone to reveal Himself to them? A sense of justice. As long as there's a sense of justice in someone, there's hope to find God. As long as there's a sense of justice in you, there is hope of you finding God. Why? Because the sense of justice is a spark of God within us. In other words, is a little piece of God within us. The sense of justice is something God has given to every human being. We are already born with a sense of justice. Children have a sense of justice. Any culture in the world knows that stealing, knows that killing is wrong. And where does this consciousness comes from? The consciousness of right and wrong comes from, if not from the one who created us. So the sense of justice is built in our own existence, is intertwined with our DNA. However, some people fight to hold back this sense of justice. They use the intelligence to say, there is no God, justice is what I think, is what I do. In other words, they fight against themselves, even though they know that is wrong, but they try to suppress this sense of justice. The sacred text says in Isaiah 5, verses 20 and 21, woe to those who call evil good, and good evil. In other words, those who reverse things. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. God warns them and says woe. And when God says woe, it's because there's pain coming up. There will be pain upon those who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. In other words, these are those who develop their own code of justice. Now, I think it's fair for me to kill that person. In their own eyes, they think it's fair what they are doing. They think it's fair to steal from their boss, from the government, because they steal too. In other words, they are being wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Those who start to rewrite the laws according to their own justice. They make their own laws. Woe to those. And verse 23 says, who justify the wicked for a bribe and take away justice from the righteous man. In other words, they accept bribe to justify the wicked. They know that the wicked is doing wrong things, but for some changes, they defend the wicked. But they let the righteous man suffer the damage unfairly. So the word speaks of those who let themselves be corrupted, who are little by little anesthetized, seared in their conscience about justice, and no longer seek what is right, the justice. When the person steps on this dangerous terrain, a terrain of making your own laws, the terrain of reversing justice, what is right is wrong and what is wrong is right, they risk never being able to return from this land where their feet stepped upon, a land where they make their own rules. But there are those who, even if they are doing wrong things, practicing what is wrong, have within themselves a moral compass. This compass that tells them, you are in the wrong path. There's a moral compass that God has placed within the human being, that those from the first group, those who make their own rules, they do all that it takes to break this compass. They don't want to feel accused, so they attack God, faith, the Bible, the Christians. They attack everything that reminds them of this sense of justice. They want their own laws. They want to change the laws of this world to satisfy themselves. So they break this inner compass. But there are those who are doing what is wrong, but their inner compass is pointing to the opposite direction. The moral compass points to the opposite direction and tells them, you should not be doing this. You are not like this. You are not like that. That's not you. So they live in a conflict. Maybe they are even stealing, committing adultery, or lying. They might be doing many wrong things, living in prostitution, doing many wrong things, whatever it is. But within them, there's this voice that does not go quiet, telling them, stop this. You must let go of this. You must find a way out. This voice within you that tells you, stop with this. Don't do that anymore. This is the sense of justice, is God's spark in you, is God calling you while there's time for you to leave what is wrong and turn to Him. If you listen to this voice, pay attention. You might be listening to me in a prison cell because you've done heinous things, or maybe you are listening to me in a mansion or in a shack. Maybe you're running away from the police. At this moment, you might be leaving behind a mask. Everybody believes that you are an excellent person, but deep down, you know the character you have. But if within you there's a great desire to do things right before God, to receive forgiveness and to get rid of this guilt, this is God's spark in you. Is God calling you? And what must you do now? You need to seek God while this spark is lit. Because if it goes dim, the day that this spark goes off, most probably it will be too late. So you who seek for justice, you who hate injustice, you hate what is wrong, you hate the things that you do, but you think, I don't see a way out. I want to leave, but I don't know how. What you must do, you must turn yourself to the light, to God, because this that you are seeking for, this justice that you aim, there's a source. The source is God. He is the source of all justice. You won't find justice in this world. The justice you are looking for, the repair of the damage that was done, seeing justice finally reigning, what you are looking for is called God. So what you must do, you have to turn to Him, seek Him, that first you may receive forgiveness and mercy because of Him. In His justice is also merciful. He forgives before a true repentance, before a sincere confession, a sincere desire to change. He shows you the way out. He does the impossible. Maybe you think, there's no way for me. I'm too deep into this. There's no turning back. I'm going to hell. Maybe you even say that, but that's not what you want. That's not the place you want to go. You say that because you think there's no way out, but there is, as long as this spark is lit in you. So what you must do, bow before Him and say, God, have mercy on me. Help me to come out of this situation. I want your justice. I'm all crooked, but I want what is right. Help me. If you seek Him with this sincerity, He will find you, He will stretch out His hand to you, He will take you out of this situation, and He will cause a turnaround in your life. Be certain of this. I don't know how, but I'm certain that He will do it, because He is calling you through this voice in your heart that cries out for justice. So He's the hint for you who seek God, who seek justice, even if you are an atheist. But if you seek it, you have a strong sense of justice within you. It's God who you are seeking for. You don't know Him. Maybe because of experiences you had, even with religious people, you became who you became. But put this all aside. God is not to be blamed. You put Him first. Leave the others behind you and seek Him. He will direct your path to find the source of this justice. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.